New York City's identity is inseparable from its towering skyline. These structures are more than just buildings. They are monuments to ambition, innovation, the relentless pursuit of progress. They represent the city's very essence, a place of constant change and vertical growth. When we look at the collection of spires and facades piercing the clouds, we are seeing a physical manifestation of history, economics, human aspiration. Each skyscraper tells a story of its time, reflecting the challenges, technologies, dreams of the era in which it was built. The skyline is the city's signature, a unique fingerprint recognized globally, shaped by the forces that have made New York a world capital. The story of the skyscraper is fundamentally a story about land. Manhattan is an island, a finite strip of rock with limited space. The logical solution to this spatial puzzle was to build up, not out. The journey toward the modern skyscraper began in the late 19th century. Before this time, building height was limited by construction methods. Traditional masonry relied on thick, load-bearing walls at the base. The higher you built, the thicker those lower walls had to be, consuming interior space and making great height impractical. The earliest skyscraper experiments emerged from this constraint. The Equitable Life Assurance Building, 1870, rose to about 130 feet. The passenger elevator helped make that possible. The New York Tribune Building, 1875, pushed boundaries. The Western Union Telegraph Building, 1875, climbed even higher. These still used masonry but added internal iron framing, hinting at a coming revolution. The real game changer, the steel skeleton frame, first perfected in Chicago. It separated structural support from exterior walls. A steel cage could carry the whole weight. Walls became weatherproof curtains. New York quickly adopted the method. The Tower Building, 1889, used a skeletal frame in the city, proving it worked. That unlocked unprecedented height. The early 20th century saw an explosion in skyscraper construction, driven by a perfect storm of technological advancement and soaring ambition. The steel frame was now a standard. Other innovations were just as crucial. The perfection of the safe and efficient electric elevator by companies like Otis was fundamental. Without a reliable way to move people vertically, tall buildings would have been pretty much useless. Faster elevators meant reaching the 30th floor was no longer a time-consuming ordeal. 40th floor, 50th floor. This synergy between the structural frame and the mechanical core powered the skyscraper boom. Economic prosperity also played a vital role. The Roaring '20s was a period of immense wealth and optimism, and New York City was its financial epicenter. Corporations saw skyscrapers as the ultimate corporate symbols. Buildings were named after their patrons, like the Woolworth Building, completed in 1913, financed by dime store magnate F.W. Woolworth. Dubbed the Cathedral of Commerce, Gothic-inspired ornamentation. Its record-breaking height of 792 feet made it a powerful statement. The climax of the early skyscraper race occurred in a breathtaking frenzy of construction at the end of the 1920s. The competition became a public spectacle followed closely by newspapers and just about everyone in the city. The Bank of Manhattan Trust Building at 40 Wall Street, the Chrysler Building, H. Craig Severance, William Van Allen. They battled for the title of world's tallest, trying to keep final height secret. 40 Wall Street was completed first, reaching 927 feet and briefly claiming the crown. However, Van Allen had a trick up his sleeve. He secretly assembled a 185-foot steel spire inside the Chrysler Building's dome. Weeks later, the spire was hoisted into place in just 90 minutes, bringing the Chrysler Building's total height to a stunning 1,046 feet. Its gleaming Art Deco stylized Eagles radiator cap ornaments. After the long pause of the Depression and World War II, skyscraper construction slowly reawakened in the post-war era. The new towers, however, reflected a different aesthetic. The ornate historicist styles of the 1920s gave way to the clean lines and glass curtain walls of the International style. Buildings like the Seagram Building, completed in 1958, and the Lever House, finished in 1952, championed a new kind of corporate modernism. The Skyline saw another dramatic addition with the completion of the World Trade Center's Twin Towers in the early 1970s. At 1,368 and 1,362 feet, they briefly reclaimed the title of world's tallest buildings for New York. Yet, over time, the two towers became a defining and beloved feature of the lower Manhattan skyline. They were a powerful symbol of New York's global reach and economic might, The tragic destruction of the Twin Towers on September 11, 2001, was a devastating blow to the city and its skyline. The attack left a gaping void not only in the physical landscape, but also in the city's psyche. The response was one of resilience and defiance. Rather than abandoning the idea of building tall, New York chose to rebuild. The new World Trade Center complex, anchored by the soaring One World Trade Center, rose from the ashes as a symbol of remembrance and renewal.